Hey everybody, Red October coming at you. Got a question for you. I've been seeing a certain culture, race, walk around with saggy pants. Does that mean that every person of that culture or race wears their pants like that? I've been seeing a certain group of people from other countries drive around with no insurance, no driver's license. Does that mean everybody from another country is like that? I've been seeing in the news that teachers have been having inappropriate relationships with kids. In fact, there was a story today. A Georgia teacher decided to lock himself in the room. Students tried to get in, went to get the principal. Principal tried to open the door, and he decided to start popping off a round or two. Are all teachers bad? Should we go ahead and persecute and go after teachers and make them go through hoops and bounds and have them psychology tests every year, maybe twice a year? SUVs, trucks, big vehicles, they have been known to do more damage than little cars. I think we should go after big trucks, big SUVs. I don't think anyone should own them. It doesn't matter if you have a small family or big family or you're a big person. I think you should have to drive a small vehicle, one of those little economy size. You see where I'm getting with this, guys? If one individual does something wrong with a vehicle in an inappropriate way, they should. If a teacher does something they're not supposed to do. If one group or race tends to wear their clothes a certain way or be known to rob, steal, is it okay for us to go after and persecute that group of people? No. That's not a trick question. It's common sense. You know that. So if one news station decides to release a story and it comes out later that the facts were wrong, or they didn't tell the whole story that they should have, and then another station, 2, 3, 4, decide to release the truth, the correct story, do we just persecute all news stations and say, oh, it's all fake news, they all lie, when only one station actually did the error? Should we go after every other person, business, race when something is done inappropriately or wrong? Or do we focus on that individual themselves or that company and say, hey, these guys over here sell tires and you sell tires, but those guys over there, they seem to jack up their prices or seem to do stuff they're not supposed to be doing, so I bet you're doing the same thing. I bet you're a crook just like them. No. And that's common sense. So I don't understand why it's okay for an incident happening with a firearm that it's everyone's fault. We might as well blame Hollywood, because Hollywood promotes movies, action movies, time and time again, that involve firearms. Why don't we go after the big movie studios and say, hey, we don't want you to make any more movies that involve firearms. Yeah, let's see how that action movie looks with no firearms. Wouldn't be an action movie. Hollywood, actors, they love getting that paycheck when an action movie's made, and they don't mind holding those movie props, and people say, well, yeah, but they're not real. But still, the concept is you're promoting it. How? You're promoting it because you're making it look cool, and like people see that and they're like, oh, I want that kind of gun, and I bet it feels good when you're shooting a gun like that and moving around like action. Video game companies that have firearms, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, many other games out there that involve firearms. Let's ban that too. How do you think that will impact the industry of video games and Hollywood if people started going after them and saying, hey, we don't want to just take the Second Amendment away from individuals in America. Now we're going to go after movies that are made with firearms. We're going to go after video game companies that have firearms in their thing. How about that? You think they're going to go for that? And it amazes me how how these Hollywood actors will stand up and tweet or post something or make a video about we don't need AR-15s or we need to stop the gun violence. Well, you need to stop making movies that involve firearms. If you're that so righteous and you believe in the cause, back it up. Stop being in movies that involve, even if you're not the actor that's going to be shooting other people, or you're going to be a cop, or you're going to hold a gun, don't be in that movie. Even if you're the janitor in the background and you're like, oh, well, I'm just janitor, I'm not shooting anything, but the movie involves guns, don't be in it. How about that? Put your money where your mouth is. I have a feeling that Dick's is going to back out of this whole thing that they've decided to take a part of and temporarily not sell ARs or certain rifles. You know, the problem is the news media, groups out there, people that are not into the Second Amendment or don't own guns or have never shot a gun, they're only seeing it one side. That's it. If they look at the big picture and they realize young people, oh shoot, they're going to go after video games. We're no longer going to be able to shoot guns in video games. That's going to be fun. Movies. I want to go see that movie. That action movie that has no guns in it. That's going to be fun. You wait and see. Because be careful what you ask for, people. It can come back to bite you in the ass. You know, the stories of heroes that protect other individuals, like a cop that was getting beat down and a law-abiding citizen showed up, had an LTC, license to carry, asked the police officer, do you want me to assist? And the officer says, yes, shoot him, because the officer feared he's going to kill me. Shot the guy, saved the police officer. Good guy with the gun. Saves a police officer. Can you believe that? Mother in Oklahoma, home alone with her kid. Two men decide to show up. She has a double-barrel shotgun. First guy that goes through shoots him, kills him. Physically, she would not have been able to defend herself. There are countless stories like that out there. But you and I don't get to see them on the mainstream media because they don't report those, because it goes against the idea of their agenda, their story. And, you know, the news media is one-sided. They love to showcase the kids and talking about, you know, no more shooting, whatever, but they don't tell the other side. They don't give a fair chance to the other side of the coin to say, hey, look, here's their side. Let me hear your side. Because there's a lot of people here in America that own guns, that exercise their right of the Second Amendment, that do care about other individuals' lives and would lay their own life down to save someone else, their family, their loved ones, strangers. Fortunately, and I say fortunately, most people don't ever use their gun. They're not in that situation. But if they had to be, I'm pretty willing to bet they'd be one to stand up and fight back. And I would much rather everyone who chooses to be a law-abiding citizen, go through the background, go through the process, be able to carry a gun, if that's their choice, I'd rather know that there are individuals out there that do carry, and there's a chance someone might save my life. They might save my loved one. Versus knowing that no one is allowed to have guns. So if somebody comes into a certain place and I'm there, or someone, or my family member's there, they're screwed. They have to wait on the cops, and a good chance is it's going to be too late. I'd rather have a law in place for us to be able to protect ourselves and take that chance that the bad guy's going to be taken out and someone's going to step up before the cops get there, versus knowing we don't have a chance in hell. We're screwed. You're just going to have to take the bullet, and we're just going to have to see what happens. And there's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of people that die. People in the mainstream media and the country that are not for guns or don't understand why people have guns, they're that way because until they're in a situation where somebody is defending them with their own firearm, or standing up for a family member or loved one that realizes they would be dead if it wasn't for someone carrying a gun. If it wasn't for the Second Amendment, that rule, that law, that right to carry, my family member might not be here. And only then I think they would appreciate what the Second Amendment really means. So, anyway, just my thoughts. Dicks, dumb move. Right out.